Uh, Albeit being Polish, I will prefer to speak English because I suffer some anxiety. You are too many for my ability to resist, so I will prefer English this time. I will start from a more aggressive topic about blockchain. And earlier, someone said that you all know what is a blockchain. I wonder how many of you really know how a blockchain works, if you can raise your hands. Okay, that was expected. So the blockchain is actually a hype. We are hearing everything will change thanks to the blockchain. I'm working with the blockchain technology for more than 1 year right now. It's a market that is bringing lots of investments from many big companies. Insurances, banks are talking about blockchain technology. There are massive investments, as you can see. But also, there are many projects that are dying on their way. The blockchain hype is currently mainly built on cryptocurrencies. We have 1,926 currencies by 10th of September. And the value caps of these technologies, you can see here, the three main cryptocurrencies have raised massively in the past years. The blockchain technology will change, put anything here, or disrupt any kind of industry. This is the promise that is behind this hype. The reality is that the technology is complex for the end users. End users don't know, like most of the present here, I believe, don't know exactly how the technology works. Like it was said, there are missing legal frameworks about it. It's public, so there are privacy issues behind it. It's an anonymous, so anyone can join, which means anyone can write to it. It's unchangeable, like it was said again. Information that is stored in a blockchain cannot be removed from it. It's slow, meaning there is a cap, a limited amount of operations that can be performed on the technology in the public ledgers. We are talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin blockchains. And it's collectively expensive. What makes it new is a conglomerate of many technologies defined in the past years. We are some technologies backdating to the 17th century, so there is actually nothing new in the single technologies composing the blockchain technology itself. The technology is just a conglomerate of many solutions. So what is a blockchain in 3 slides? It's a database. Mainly information is stored in the form of so-called transactions. This database is distributed among many ledgers. From here, the term distributed ledger technology. All the participants of a blockchain contains an entire copy of this database. A block is a set of transactions, so of information that has been collected together and signed with the date, with the timestamp at its end. The consensus is one of the main topics of the blockchain technology, meaning all ledgers, all participants in a blockchain reach the agreement that the transactions are correct, that can be saved, so the data integrity is valid. Information is therefore chained in a sequence of blocks. These blocks must be consecutive, are strictly related one to each other. They are in sequence of time. From this, the terminology and the term that's what is a blockchain. I said it was expensive. These are the expenses in power in 1 year of power consumption needed to calculate the consensus. The Ethereum blockchain, which is the one we refer usually to talk about smart contracts, it has a power consumption estimated in 20.2 terawatts hour in 1 year. The Hungary power consumption based on Wikipedia information is 21.55. So we are talking about power consumption of a single nation. The Bitcoin blockchain is 73.2. It's more than Austria power consumption in 2015. I said it's slow. The current blockchain technologies are slow. We are talking Ethereum, so smart contracts are perform at most is estimated 50 transactions per second, 50 information per second can be stored. The Bitcoin is much slower. We're talking about 7 to 10 transactions per second. If you compare this to the amount of information that is created or uploaded online, the two solutions does not really help. So, given all these parameters, can the blockchain be helpful for copyright? In my opinion, it can be. There are a set of challenges to afford and to get on. The complexity of artwork registration. Artworks can have multiple information to be stored. If we are talking in digital world, it's quite easy. If we are talking about physical world, it's more complex. Author's identity. The blockchain is anonymous. Anyone can join in a public blockchain. So the identity of an author, being it's his or her full name or pseudonym, must be something that can be actually verified by someone, by some authority. The artwork source. Are we sure that who is registering this source, this artwork, is really the owner or the creator of it, if there are multiple creators? Information to be stored. We need to evaluate what kind of information is stored among the artwork to make it reliable and useful. Internationalization of metadata will also be something quite needed if we want to make it on global scale. What should be stored? We talked about privacy issues. There are perhaps information that we can't store on the blockchain. We need legal and technical frameworks and background to work with the information exchange on an international scale, as well as spread the information and the education about the technology to artists and authors about the topic. Why all of this? To avoid that someone claim on the Bitcoin blockchain to be the author of the Mona Lisa. This actually happened a few months ago. So you will find a transaction where this guy is actually the author of Mona Lisa. And this information is actually stored. So this is one of the real risks of using the blockchain technology with the auto-regulation without some more evaluation in use. So I was worried that it would take longer, so I'm before time. So wherever I am quite aggressively and trying to address the topic in a practical way, I believe the blockchain is really useful for copyright registration because it's a technology that is perfect for long-term information storage, where information can be stored, added to the blockchain technology, and it automatically will grant you that the information is consistent. If the database, if only an even bit is damaged, the system automatically will reject the database, and you will obtain the copy from the entire network. It cannot be tampered. Even if you possess, even if you have the information in your house, on your system, you can't tamper the information, you can change it, because everything will fail with the consensus of all the other participants. Multiple parties can participate. You can use, blockchain technology can be used across multiple parties, government companies or copyright companies, exchange information in a safe way. It's extremely resilient, and a single attack to a single structure won't disrupt the information because all the other participants will have anyway all the information stored on their own systems. I worked with the blockchain technology in different fields and areas on private sector. So we have tried to develop some proof of concepts. If there's anything else I might answer or be of help with, without my anxiety, of course, please feel free to contact me through one of my channels, and thank you kindly for asking.